Okay, but are you insane? You know that she's literally just trying to get people angry. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing because there's no possible way she's actually thinking that it's okay.
The palm colored people are at it again. They are already trying to rename another thing from black people, and I am just going to get right into it. This lady, this very popular creator on TikTok, I don't know if you guys have come across one of her videos. Like, she makes content about traditional wife and stuff like that. Her name is Nara Smith. She posted a video of herself getting a braid done, and this white creator stitched to her video talking about she wants to get this braid done, she wants to do this and that. But I think one of the most triggering things from what she said was the fact that she started calling this braid. You guys, the braid is box braid, like just regular box braid, nothing special, nothing new added. She started calling it in that video Nara Smith braid. And people are like, are you telling us that this is the very first time that you're coming across a braid on someone's head? This is the very first time you're seeing someone do a braid. She said she wants to do it, but she has a coily hair. Her hair cannot go near water. Like, if her hair should smell the ocean, it's going to like puff. She said she wants to go ahead to do the braid. There's so many people in the comment section of her video literally telling her to do it, go do it. And there are some people as well telling her not to try it. But there are so many people even pissed at the fact that regular normal braids are being termed Nara Smith braid, just the same thing they did to lip liner and gloss, calling it laced something something. I can't remember. So without wasting much time, let's just get right into our video and what the people have to say about this white lady literally renaming box braid Nara Smith braid, because I saw some videos as well of people literally now tagging it and calling it Nara Smith braid. Like, when did that even start? Like, when? Let's get right into it.
Did you guys see the vlog where Nara Smith got her entire hair braided in these tiny little perfect braids? I physically cannot. My entire dream since I was a little girl is to have my hair braided like this, and I have not been able to do it, but I don't think you guys understand. Like, I am obsessed. I think it is the most beautiful hairstyle in the entire world. When I was younger and I would go on any kind of tropical vacation at the beach, the first stop, like literally we would land before dinner, first stop was to get my hair braided. Obviously, it's the most beautiful thing, but it's also so practical, and I don't think you understand. Anyone who doesn't have curly hair will not get this. I'm not allowed to go near the water. Like, my head anywhere near the water, if my hair even sniffs the ocean, poof, month over, year over, like my hair, it can't handle it. I live 10 feet away from the ocean and I can't go swimming. I can't remember the last time as an adult that I put my head either under the ocean or under the pool water, and all I want to do is feel free. All I want to do is be able to go swimming and diving like a little fish in the water and come out and just have my hair sit like this in these little perfect braids. I don't know what to do though. I guess I'm basically asking, am I allowed to do this or not? Because if I can, I will. I will do it. I want the little tiny ones. I want them long. I want them all over my head. This, I'm not kidding you, is the most beautiful thing I have.
To all of the people that are telling this white woman to come on TikTok wearing Nara Smith braids, and if you don't know what Nara Smith braids are, they are box braids that this white woman saw Nara Smith wearing, so she called them Nara Smith braids. Which is already annoying because it only takes one white person to change the name of something that they like in a black culture, something already that has a name, that has a category, that has everything already. But it only takes one white person to change the name, and ever since then it'll be named whatever that white person named it. Like, if it's gonna be trending, it's probably gonna be trending under Nara Smith braids. Oh my goodness, Nara Smith braids. And it always sets us back 17 years, okay? But anyways, that's already annoying in itself. But to you black people in her comments telling her to come on this app wearing the braids, you are setting this woman up for failure. No matter how genuine or good intention your messages are, it doesn't matter how you feel about white people wearing cultural hairstyles or black hairstyles. You know that if she comes on this app, she's going to get like eaten. Like, she's going to be eaten alive. You know that if this woman comes on this app with braids on her head, it's going to be her downfall. Especially after her calling it Nara Smith braids and her moving around and talking like she has no concept of black hairstyle. Like, you're playing with this girl. You know very well that it's not going to go well for her. And yet you're in her comments like, yeah, get the braids. And y'all not even being sarcastic. Like the funny sarcastic thing y'all be doing. Like, get a relaxer and then put on the braids. No. You guys are just being dense.
Okay, I know I just posted like 2 seconds ago, but we have to address this right now. Just open TikTok to this video on my For You page. It's basically a video of this girl saying like, Nara Smith braids are in, like they're so gorgeous, I want them. And she's saying like, as a white woman with curly hair, it's like so hard to get in the water, blah, blah, blah. White people, do not start getting box braids. Just don't. Like, clearly I'm a braids girl, but hearing them be called Nara Smith braids, number one, is just crazy because they've been around for so long. But Please, let's not start the epidemic of white people having braids. I can't stand it. It's the craziest look ever, and just don't start it. And at this point, I think this woman was genuinely asking, so like I'm not saying like anything about her. Like she was genuinely asking if it's okay. But at this point, I feel like the majority of people know, do not get protective styles like they are a black person thing. Like don't do it. So let's not start this trend of it being a trend because Nara Smith did it, which also Nara Smith is a black woman. But do not start this trend of white people getting box braids. It's crazy. Your hair will fall out, by the way. Like, I know the joke is all the black people in the comments being like, do it, girl, do it. Because it's just like, see the consequences of your actions. But like, actually, your hair will fall out and you will be bald. So let's not start it. Let's not start. Just thought that was funny. Had to comment on it, but like,
Entire dream since I was a little girl is to have my hair braided like this, and I have not been able to do it, but I don't think you guys understand. Like, I am obsessed.
Okay, but are you insane? You know that she's literally just trying to get people angry. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing because there's no possible way she's actually thinking that it's okay to do box braids. The fact that you couldn't even bother to learn that it's called box braids, and the fact that cornrows or braids has so much history behind it, you're just like, you know, my curly hair. What curly hair? Is the curly hair in the room with us? Because I really cannot see past your 1A type hair. It makes no sense to me. Stop trying to make people angry, because that's exactly what you're trying to do. You knew what you were doing. You were doing it for views. You were doing it for engagement. Was it worth it? I really hope you take a break, a seat, and reflect. Cause wow. Okay.
Because if I can,
May I suggest French braids? Cultural things aside, logistically, it's insane for you to do that to your hair when you have the option of French braids or Dutch braids. Like, you don't need to sit in a chair and get your hair put into those braids so that you can go to the beach. Let's also not pretend like Nara Smith just started some crazy trend getting knotless or box braids or whatever she got, because this is not new. I understand that the white folk are not used to seeing content creators like that on their For You page, but Nara is not a white woman, okay? So just because she got them does not mean everyone else gets to get them, okay? That is not what that means. It will ruin your hair. Your hair will fall out. It will not be a good time. Don't do it. I promise French braids will do the trick. How do I know? Because I used to do that. So you'll be just...
Basically a video of this girl saying like, Nara Smith braids are in, like they're so gorgeous, I want them. And she said,
no shade to this creator because she has very sweet, kind eyes, but we as a people have got to stop let racist white people punk us for engagement so that they can get popular. I understand the initial like terrible gut feeling with seeing this creator, and I'll touch on her specifically in a second, say like, Nara Smith braids, ignoring that they're called box braids, sort of saying like, I want to get some, making a mockery of our culture. But then I always think about what Toni Morrison said the function of racism was. And I'm paraphrasing her here, but the function of racism is that you constantly keep explaining. Somebody says black people aren't smart, so you spend the next 20, 30 years of your life proving that we are just as smart as everyone else. And then your life has been wasted trying to prove your humanity to people who fundamentally cannot see you as human. That girl has been on this platform since I joined in 2020, and she was already kind of popular then, that Isabella girl. And she has always made outrage content. I have seen her on the Daily Mail. I've seen her on the New York Post. She makes the type of content about beauty specifically that is meant to engage and incite anger. And then I don't know what else she does because that's the only time that I see her. She absolutely knew, as a creator who's been on this platform where we talk about like hair and beauty and the politics of it and who these hairstyles belong to, that was an inappropriate thing to say. And you have to understand that like a person who already approaches their content in bad faith by like riling up people's feelings about things that are very personal knows what they're doing when they post that. The other thing is that to even go back and forth with her, to even like really address why it's such a ridiculous argument, is to give merit and legitimacy to what she's saying. And some things are just so patently offensive that we shouldn't let our outrage be used to boost someone, because our outrage is absolutely currency, not just on social media, but also in media to promote TV shows and books. People say offensive things about Black people, knowing that the Black community on social media will respond. And I just want us to stop engaging. And the second thing, and this is why I said no shade to that creator, because I don't think that she's a good example of this. I just kind of wanted to talk about the phenomena of like the whole Nara Smith braids, whatever. There are some people who know and they just want to get in on the punking by also getting popular, because you can make a video saying like, well, I hope her hair falls out. Oh, she thinks she looks like a Viking. Yeah, she should get like multiple cornrows. You know the old jokes, and you can get a bunch of views and likes. And some people are all too happy to get that clout and engage with that, then think critically about like, why do we care? Like, they're not approaching us in good faith. And if they wanted to, they could use Google, because other Black people have already done the work. They're just punking us. Don't get out on the punking for clout, and don't waste like your breath on it.
Black women use their hair as an escape map. Y'all see this? Please, this was a river. Dear white people, please do not start this new trend, okay? So I just opened up my TikTok and this girl popped up. She was talking about, oh my gosh, Nara Smith braid, what are you talking about? You don't live under a rock. You are on social media, so you've seen Black people with braids before, and you never named them after that person. But she's talking about, okay, you know, having as a person with curly hair, it's hard to get in the water and blah, blah. Okay, cool. But please, let's not make this a trend and start doing that Kim K thing that y'all tried to do a couple years ago. Anything that you see in a Black woman's head, a hairstyle, it all derives from slavery 9 times out of 10, or a cultural thing before they became enslaved, right? If you see this, if you see the zigzag on a Black person, any one of your favorite influencers, it's not their style, okay? This was a river, okay? This meant that while they're trying to escape, there's gonna be a river. Maybe you don't know how to swim, you might not try to run, or you need to find another path, but you finna drown, okay? So that's a river. Don't name it after your favorite influencer, okay? If you saw big Kienroa, and I'm Jamaican, so I say Kienroa because we were the cane field, in America, cornrow. If you see these big old X's, if they were just big Kienroas, right? That meant that there were soldiers. That was basically this. That was the sign. That was representing there are soldiers there. Don't go. Bantu knots. If y'all see this, please do not name them after your favorite creator. Bantu knots meant that there were going to be a lot of mountains. When you're trying to escape your massa, there will be a lot of mountains. So be cautious of that. So each of our hairstyle, it literally has meaning behind it. Even those braids, they had meaning behind them. It has wealth behind it. But then at one point, they were like, you know, we don't want to see y'all's hair no more, cover up. Then we started to do things like this. We started to do things like this. We had to wrap our hair. Stop naming things after y'all favorite creators. Do you know that summer break stemmed from Black children not being able to go to school in the summer because they had to work on the fields? Do you know that reversing the time, fast forward, move back, all that is because they wanted slaves to be working longer while the sun was still going down? Like everything, if you really look at it and do your research and learn true history, derives from slavery.
I really love how that creator exposed that is like the type of content she does, because she has been on so many vlogs doing the same thing, trying to get reaction out of people. But you know, it's not everybody that will know that that is the type of content that she does. Like me personally, that was my first time coming across a video, and I was so surprised as to what is Nara Smith braid, because by the search, you know, when you post something and it's about to be a trend, at the down part you're going to see the stitch under, like in like a search bar showing, and people are already saying Nara Smith braid. There are people as well tagging it and saying, oh, I love this Nara Smith braid. Like there's literally nothing special about that braid. Now they're even trying to drag this lady into it. She went to get a braid done. That was all she did. I don't think she ever wanted to start a trend. I don't think she even know people are going to take it that way. But maybe they are mistaking her for a white woman, because Nara Smith is not a white woman. Got her hair done. She did box braid just like so many people have been doing. But why exactly is she calling it Nara Smith braid? And on her video, she kind of writes Nara Smith braid, and that sign, that greater sign, like is something like very special. And I think this is why people are so pissed. I feel like I agree to the creator talking about how she's trying to get a reaction out of people, because that is clearly the only thing she's trying to do. You can't tell me you're this grown, you've been on TikTok since 2020, even before then, that creator stated, and you've not seen people on braids. Like what exactly is so special about a box braid that you've now thought like, okay, I like this so much, I have to give it another name so that my home people can start calling it another name. There is so much history attached to these braids to be disrespected and being called Naira Smith braid. Like, where exactly is that coming from? What's the connection? Like, what are you even trying to start? And I love the fact that so many creators as well talked about how white people, please do not start this trend. Like, don't even start it. If you guys remember when Haley did the pencil on the lips with gloss and they started calling it something glossed or something bronze or something lips, it was so annoying back then. I think that was in 2022. It was so freaking annoying because these people just don't learn. So she's trying to get a reaction. I hope it doesn't escalate than this, and I hope she does not get the braids done because her hair is about to fall off. So let me know what you guys think about people's reaction to her video, and let me know what you think about this lady literally calling box braid Naira Smith braid. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and I will catch you guys in the next one.